Hi everyone, we're Genie in a Vial by Christina Aguilera, and Genie spelled wrong. This is done by Sarah, Bobby, and Addie. Okay, so the objective of this experiment was to trace the mode of inheritance, and we witnessed two different phenotypes in the beginning. We saw a wild type with red eyes, and then a mutant type with white eyes. Okay. These stocks were known as our P generation, but before we could really do anything, we had to get familiar with figuring out the genders of the flies. And by doing this, we looked at them under a microscope after we anesthetized them with carbon dioxide. With the help of a teasing needle, we were able to move them around, get a good look at them, and discover if they were male or female. Males were seen as having anal plates, which made their abdomen appear to be flat, kind of like a plate. And they also have the appearance of sex combs. Females, on the other hand, did not have anal plates, and they also did not show sex combs. In our experiment, we had two different crosses. Cross A consisted of 4 wild-type males and 12 mutant females. And Cross B consisted of 6 mutant males and 12 wild-type females. These were reciprocal crosses.
But first, we collect the virgins. In order to ensure that they were in fact virgins, we would have to collect them within 6 hours after eclosing. If for any reason we weren't sure, well... After we collected about 8 virgin wild-type males and females and 8 virgin mutant male and females, it was time to get busy. So the flies that eclosed were our F1 generation, and all of these had red eyes, which showed that red was dominant to white and that there was no X linkage. Our next step was to take the F1s and form an interstate cross.
No, I had
to re-report it. Is that what you're doing?
Or sibling mating. Now, what that is we take the F1s from each of the crosses, and essentially it's just brother and sister getting to know each other really well, real well.
This is what we saw. We saw some flies that had red eyes. We also saw some flies that had these bright orange eyes. We saw a third kind of fly that had brown eyes. And lastly, we saw a rare kind of fly that had white eyes.
So combining both of our crosses, the total number of red-eyed flies was 137 males and 134 females. The total number of brown-eyed flies was 44 males and 48 females. The total number of orange flies was 45 males and 54 females. And the total number of white-eyed flies was 8 males and 9 females.
Sorry.
Looking at our F2 results, the mode of inheritance is autosomal because of the similar frequencies between male and females. We can also assume that they are on 2 independent genes because of the 4 different phenotypes.
Then move on to our chi-squared data. We will use this to determine whether or not the frequency that we saw the phenotypes in the F2 was equivalent to a 9:3:3 ratio, the frequency we would expect in a dihybrid cross. Of course, not to be confused with the chi-squared. We did chi-squared for cross A, cross B, and them together. And for cross A, it was 8.33, cross B was 9.28, and total it was 6.57. The degrees of freedom was 3 for each due to the 4 phenotypes, and the p-value was between 0.25 and 0.05 for A and B, and together the p-value was between 0.5 and 0.1. Now this means that cross A and B individually were not statistically equal to 9:3:3:1 ratio, and this made us very, very upset. But together, they were equal to 9:3:3:1, confirming our hypothesis.
So the collection of virgins and crossing of parental generations went pretty smoothly. As far as problems go, the only issue we had was losing some data from cross A as far as the sex of the flies. Fortunately, though, we were able to score enough flies so that these were accounted for in the F2 analysis. Aside from the occasional dry food, there was not any huge error that had to be addressed or redone.